You are listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shamaya Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shamaya Reed.
Hey, welcome to I Am Refocused Radio. Once again, we are here today, and today have another show lineup for y'all. Today, we have a true honor talking to Luvvie Ajayi Jones. She's the author of a children's book, a new book, Little Troublemaker Defends Her Name. First and foremost, I want to say to you, Luvvie, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing awesome. You're not just known as a 4 times over New York Times best-selling author. You also are a certified professional truth teller. Tell us about this project.
Oh, man. So many of us grew up with names that we never saw on keychains, that we never saw on mugs. When we go to Six Flags, you go to a souvenir shop, you did not see your name at all. And it was disappointing. And I am somebody who definitely has experienced that. So I wanted to write a book about the experience of, having your name mispronounced all your life, misspelled, dismissed. And because I think so many kids are dealing with that now. And even as adults, we still deal with it today. So that's what Little Troublemaker Defends Her Name is about. It's about little Luvvie on her first day of school. A kid makes fun of her names. She pops off and she ends up getting in trouble for it. But at the end of the book, she gets an apology from her teacher. She gets an apology from the kid. She makes friends with this kid and she feels affirmed and seen. And that's ultimately what I want for the kids who touch this book and even the adults.
Why do you believe names are so powerful as far as part of our identity, and especially for children?
Oh, man. Names are everything. Names are everything. I think our names are the first markers that we have. They're tied to our lineage. They are often prayers for our lives. They might be prophecies for our life. And I think they're so important for people to honor them. And we live, especially if you are somebody who's on the margins, you probably have a name that is not on the keychain. So that means there's a subgroup of us that spent our whole lives having to correct people and who feel dismissed or first day of school sucks. So our names, though, really show lineage. They show legacy. So they are one of the most important things about us.
How do you believe we can teach kids in ways that can balance between respect and standing up for themselves?
Oh, wow. We need to let kids know that, one, you are worth defending, but you can do it thoughtfully. And that was little Luvvie's mistake in the book, was that, yes, her name was, the person who said something about her name was not being kind, but she wasn't being kind in response. So we can always teach kids that you can absolutely be a truth teller and you can do it thoughtfully and in a way that is kind and that honors both you and the other person.
Once again, talking to Luvvie Ajayi Jones and all about her book, children's book, Little Troublemaker Defends Her Name. My next question is, what lesson you hope that both adults and kids will be able to learn from little Luvvie's story that you hope will not just register, but hopefully spark some new awakening?
The lesson for this is that, honestly, we can always double down on who we say we are. We can always defend our names. We can always stand up for ourselves. And I think after a lifetime of being told, maybe you be quiet or, turn the other cheek, people have learned to be quiet in the moments when they've been harmed. And the whole thing is you can be honest, you can be true, and you can do it in a way that is still worthy. And I think this book, my hope is that the people who have this book in their hands, especially the babies, see themselves reflected, that they feel affirmed, that they feel heard and seen, and that they know that there's somebody out there who's telling them that their voice matters and their feelings matter.
When you see how people, they can go through those rough patches in life, this book is a tool of encouragement as well. What do you hope that students will be able to recognize opportunities to not just support other students, but to also respect them?
Yeah, and I think they can recognize that even if they make a mistake, they can still find common ground. Even if somebody, hurts their feelings, they can still be apologized to and they can still make friends. The mistake is not the issue. It's how we fix it and how we handle it. So that's the thing that I want kids to also hold on to, is that you won't always get it right, and that's okay. But can you be accountable? Can you apologize? And can you forgive and move forward? You can. And that's what happens in this book. Little Luvvie does all that and moves forward feeling good.
If you could ask Little Luvvie one question, what would it be?
Ooh, I would say, are you proud? Is what I would ask Little Luvvie.
People in today's world, we're consumed with social media, we're consumed with news cycles, and we're consumed with a lot of ideas. If this was a book that people can use to take a break from all the noise, what do you hope will be an important thread of lesson that we can appreciate moving forward?
You are not your worst mistakes. You can always atone and move forward in a way that's productive. And yeah, when you make mistakes, I think sometimes we think I am a mistake as opposed to I made a mistake. So my thing with Little Luvvie in any of the books that I write about her is that even though she will make a mistake, she will always walk away knowing that I grew because of the mistake that I made, as opposed to shaming herself.
Once again, talking to our special guest today, Luvvie Ajayi Jones. The title of her book, you can get it right now. Little Troublemaker Defends Her Name is available whenever you can get your books. Once again, I want to say to you, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.